Sam Altman just cannot avoid controversy. In the past couple weeks, not only has he boldly claimed that we may see true artificial superintelligence by 2028, but he has also made an extremely bizarre and troubling statement about humans. Altman insinuated that due to a human taking 20 years of life to become smart and requiring food, water, etc. along the way, AI models are therefore superior.
Shoot that guy.
It's almost like Altman has a fetish for being ripped apart for his awful takes online. We're going to take a look at Altman's full statements, but before we do that, thank you for watching Peak Productions, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all things business, finance, and technology. The first clip we'll look at comes from Altman's speech at the AI Impact Summit in India in mid-February. He makes the bold claim that we may be just a couple years away from true superintelligence, which is an AI that is a step further than AGI or artificial general intelligence, and is even smarter than humans.
On our current trajectory, we believe we may be only a couple of years away from early versions of true superintelligence. If we are right, by the end of 2028, more of the world's intellectual capacity could reside inside of data centers than outside of them.
Here's a translation of this statement. Please just give me and OpenAI a little bit more money. We're so close. Just a couple more $1 billion, please. Please just give us a little more of your land and resources and we can achieve superintelligence. This clip just comes off as a plea to investors so that OpenAI can continue to be able to function. Keep in mind, OpenAI has committed over $600 billion in compute spend through the end of the decade and has forecasted a $14 billion loss in 2026 alone. Knowing this, Altman's statement at the AI Impact Summit makes a lot more sense. It's basically a glorified sales pitch. Another issue with Altman saying that we're only a couple years away from superintelligence is that it implies that we are basically at AGI right now, which is a heavily disputed claim. I also love this part at the end of the clip where he essentially makes fun of himself by saying that a superintelligence would be better at being a CEO than he is.
A superintelligence, at some point on its development curve, would be capable of doing a better job being the CEO of a major company than any executive, certainly me.
The OpenAI PR team really thought they cooked with this one. In reality though, Sam, we are laughing at you, not with you. And now for the clip that nearly caused an uprising on Twitter.
People talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one inference query. But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart.
Yes, you heard Altman. What he basically just said is that AI is superior to humans. Easily one of the most infuriating things I've ever heard. And considering how much power this guy has, this clip should worry you a lot. Let's actually break down what Altman said. He was asked a question regarding the amount of energy that companies like OpenAI use to train their AI models. He has obviously thought extensively about this before, as he quickly deflected the question by bringing up the fact that a human being takes decades of food to finally become smart.
One of the things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one inference query. But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart.
This gives us a real insight into Altman's mind. He is justifying burning mountains of electricity in order to advance AI. In his mind, it's worth it because it's way more efficient than waiting for a human being to be born, experience all that life as a kid has to offer, grow up, and then finally be able to utilize their brain at a full capacity. Imagine that for a second. Imagine looking at natural human development and thinking of it as simply inefficient, simply a bug in the system. Again, Altman is essentially saying that AI is superior to humans. Now, like I referred to earlier, Altman got torn apart on Twitter after this clip went viral. Altman is absolutely no stranger to being slandered online, but this time was extremely bad. Some of my favorite tweets were someone saying that the crowd should have rushed the stage after Altman made this statement, and another guy saying that Altman is a traitor to the human race. This latter tweet went mega viral, over 74,000 likes at the time of recording, and this really makes me think. Perhaps so many people wouldn't hate AI figures and companies like Sam Altman and OpenAI if there wasn't always super negative, warning statements being put out like this one from Sam Altman. Altman and OpenAI would probably be a lot less unpopular if he wasn't always talking about how AI is superior and coming to take all of our jobs, and now saying that it's superior to human beings. On the flip side though, it's arguably a good thing that people like Sam Altman are so open about how they truly feel, because it reveals their true intentions and beliefs, and they aren't able to hide behind a persona. Let me know what you think about Altman's recent statements, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on all things business, finance, and technology.